Welcome to Seeding Our World, LLC.
In today's video, we are going to tag along with the new companion in our perilous adventures within this new frontier. Please give a warm welcome, Instructor Ridge.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Instructor Ridge. It's great to finally meet y'all. I'm so happy that many of you folks survived and have made it through. I know times have been tough lately. Today, we are going to go through the process regarding the basic steps of growing crops after a radiological event. Actually, I think it would be a great idea to explain first to these kind individuals tuning in what radioactive materials contaminated plants enjoy, as well as their potential effects.
I think that's a great idea, sir. The potential radioactive contaminants that plants may absorb after a nuclear event are as follows: uranium-238, thorium-232, radium-226, plutonium-239, cesium-137, and strontium-90. Each one of these materials in isolation have detrimental effects to the physiology of man, but unfortunately within many locations that have not yet been decontaminated, 3 to 4 of these radioactive materials appear together within the same soils. Prolonged exposure or ingestion of these radioactive substances will result in acute radiation syndrome, ARS, commonly called radiation sickness. The symptoms of exposure can vary, but are generally ranging as follows: fatigue, lethargy, headaches, fever, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, failing of the central nervous system, ataxia, cognitive impairment/decline, necrosis, hemorrhaging, hair loss, improper cellular division, various cancer forms, seizures, coma, and death.
Now, I know that wasn't easy for all of you to hear, and it may have brought back some troubling memories, but it needed to be said. Now let's go into the process of rendering portions of land usable, sort of like what you see behind me here, at the abandoned show site 34. Originally, we had the intention of using this portion of land to create several hybrid varieties of sorghum. Ultimately, that project failed on the account of several flood events that came from the nearby rivers within this region, bringing several biological contaminating agents into this area and radiological contaminants as well. The construction process was conducted on-site by several dozen members within Seeding Our World, LLC. We will most likely not replicate this on account of how labor-intensive it was. But regardless, it's still good information to have for the individuals that have the resources and needs to conduct such matters. Behind me, you can see several large-scale beds were constructed at one point in time for that purpose we mentioned earlier. Maybe this will give you a better visual. The first thing we did was remove the first foot of clay within this region of the surrounding area. Then we ended up replacing it with a non-contaminated substrate and planting several cover crop species in order to absorb any and all contaminants that still may be there, and then remove those cover crops to a different location to be disposed of in the proper manner. Then we added enough soil to create a raised area, several raised areas in fact, so that the contaminated water would not congregate within the roots of these experimental crops. The hardest part was the watering. There's still some bad stuff in the air right now. It tends to come down during heavy storms and such every now and again. As you can tell, there's no watering system out here. Currently, we had it removed. Waste no resources, they say. Special filters were installed at one point in order to remove these radiological contaminants and the like. After the several flooding events, this is all that remains left of Site 34. When conducting these activities, make sure you're suited up just like me. Make sure you don't inhale any and all life-threatening contaminants. Try not to do it in the heat of the day. Make sure you keep your electrolytes up 2 to 3 days prior to your exercise. Keep your exposure level down, most importantly. Broadly speaking, all that needs to be done is remove the 6 inches to a foot of topsoil depending on the area in proximity to the radiological event, aka the hot zone. If you are closer, you might as well pack your bags and go. The good Lord knows we had to several times. After that, bring in the non-contaminated soil and lay cover crops on radiological material that still may be there. Once the cover crops have gone through their full lifespan and they have ended, remove them to a location where they will not be able to contaminate your current agricultural system. If you are doing this outside, then install your watering system. Ultimately, the wise thing to do for the next several years would be to create several enclosed systems akin to a greenhouse. Until many of these radiological particles cease to hold their effects. If growing crops indoors, as mentioned previously, always make sure to double check with your Geiger counters to see any and all potential negative readings. I think that should cover it for today. You have plenty more to study soon enough. We have a big day ahead of us for tomorrow, and remember, you stay strong and smart, you may survive.
This video was brought to you by We Who Sew.